Hello, a very good morning to you. It's just before 9:30 on Sunday morning. Thank you for joining me live on What Med Media. I'm Dr. Kishan Rees. John Craig, thanks Siri joining as well. John Craig, the chief political correspondent at Sky News, is having an absolute blinder. Last night, he wrote a piece around the child poverty. And that was something that I was going to lead with first thing this morning. But then literally I see this come out, 9:26, just as I was about to go live. 40 people watching already. Thank you very much for starting your Sunday morning with me. Please hit like, please hit share, please hit comment. You're going to want to hear what's coming and you're going to want your friends and family to know as well. Coronavirus senior Conservative MP and Johnson ally calls for Dido Harding to be axed from test and trace role, claiming the public have lost confidence in test and trace. Sir Bernard Jenkin calls for Dido Harding to be removed from her role. 89 people watching. See if we can get to, 250 by the end. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting. If what I say makes you angry, put loads of angry emojis. If you like what I say, put lots of like emojis. It will just help get it to more people. A top Tory MP and leading Boris Johnson ally is calling for Dido Harding, the beleaguered boss of NHS Test and Trace, to be axed. Bearing in mind she was also in charge of Talk in a past life. And I think they got breached. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Talk when Talk was under her stewardship, I think she was responsible for a massive data breach. I don't know, it might be wrong, might be my memory, might be the head injury, whatever. But in the comments below, if you could let me know whether you've heard that story, maybe post some links to it as well. That'd be quite interesting. So Bernard Jenkin, who chairs the powerful liaison committee of senior MPs, told Sky's Sophie Ridge that the management of Test and Trace is bloated and muddled. He added, the test and trace capability needs to move up several gears. There is a lack of overall strategy at the heart of the problem. Now, this point worries me a little bit because they were putting out job adverts saying an understanding of strategy is not actually essential, if I remember that correctly. But they certainly put out an advert where they were saying that they needed people that were successful in turning around failing call centres. So 90 people watching. Let's get it up to over 100. This is vital that people know about this. So please like, please share, please comment. Thank you very much. But Brandon Lewis, Northern Ireland Secretary, dismissed the call, saying she's done an incredible job, quote unquote. It comes as Sir Bernard wrote in the Sunday Telegraph that Conservative peer Baroness Harding should be given a well-earned break, adding that the immediate priority is to fill the vacuum of leadership in test and trace. His call comes just days after the Prime Minister and his chief scientific advisor publicly admitted for the first time that the system is not working effectively. This is not wanting to make it particularly party political at all. I'll comment on both sides, but I think, to be fair to Sir Keir Starmer, this is something that he has been saying for a long time. And all he's been met with at PMQs is Boris Johnson saying stuff like, the public want confidence, the public don't want you to be point scoring, or the public don't want you to be nagging or kind of being miserable or flipping and flopping and things, which I don't think is particularly fair. But what do you think watching? His call comes just days after the Prime Minister and his chief scientific advisor publicly admitted for the first time that the system is not working effectively. Then there's a picture of Sir Bernard, who's the head of the powerful liaison committee. Test and Trace hit a record low with just 59.6% of contacts of people who tested positive for the disease being successfully contacted and told to self-isolate. The government's own advisors say 80% need to be contacted for the system to be effective. It coincides with a new opinion poll suggesting the public's approval of the government's handling of coronavirus crisis has hit the lowest ever level. The poll suggests that half of voters, 50%, now disapprove of the government's handling of the pandemic, while fewer than 1 in 3, 29%, approve. Sir Bernard wrote, Dido Harding, head of NHS Test and Trace, apparently says she is struggling with what she inherited when arriving in the role, but during the summer, but during the summer, initial urgency subsided. Perhaps some of those exhausted leaders on the government front line, like Dido Harding, could be given a well-earned break too. They could use their hard-won experience to help this group reflect on the lessons learned so far. So I think there's some interesting points there, right? In terms of exhausted leaders on the government front line, I can 100% agree with, and I can 100% understand, because whether you like them or not, and whether you share their political persuasion or not, that is also a very good point, Leslie. But whether you like them a lot or not, or whether you share their political persuasion or not, you can just see that they are exhausted. They've got bags under their eyes. They're erratic in some press conferences, and they're making mistakes. So giving people who are exhausted a break is a good thing, as is reflecting on the lessons learned. Claiming the public has lost confidence in test and trace. Lindsay or Leslie, I can't remember what it was, but you'll be pleased to know that they dropped the NHS bit for this quote, and somebody's saying Serco test and trace yet. Graham Finch, Sir Keir Starmer is the Tory. Oh, you didn't put so. Is the Tory choice? I don't think he is. I think you find he's the leader of the Labour Party, and just like Boris Johnson is the country's Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer is the leader of the Labour Party, and I think Marcus Rashford in the next video I'm going to do. So I really after this video I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to stop them just so they can be two separate videos for kind of advertising and marketing purposes to get this out to as many people as possible. So I'm going to hold that thought. Claiming the public has lost confidence in the test and trace service or whatever. So it doesn't say service. Sir Bernard called for a military commander to be put in charge and accuses the government of raising false hope about a coronavirus vaccine. I shouldn't laugh in terms of military commander. I think they did a fantastic job with the Nightingale hospitals. I'm just surprised that Sir Bernard thinks a military commander is appropriately qualified for that. I mean, maybe it's a case that it's such a shambles that they need that kind of figure, a little bit like the Watford manager at the moment, who's he's there not to make friends but to win. But anyway, the challenge for the government is becoming one of public confidence. Much incredible work is being done, but we're still a long way from the world-beating contact tracing system promised in June. Announcing fresh targets now, 500,000 tests by by the end of October, does not instill confidence because the public lack faith that there is a coherent plan. What do you think? 100 people watching. Is there a coherent plan? Yes or no? Please put in the comments if we can get streams of yeses or nos coming through. It would be helpful for me to gauge the mood of the virtual room. Do you have confidence that there is a coherent plan? Announcing fresh targets, now 500,000 tests a day by the end of October, does not instill confidence because people... Sorry, I've read that already. Instead, ministers should see this as an opportunity to make changes. The change must be visible and decisive. Maybe that's where he's talking about a military commander coming in. He added, the immediate priority is to fill the vacuum of leadership in test and trace, which is destroying cooperation and compliance. I'm not sure. Right, this isn't what John Craig is writing. This is sort of my analysis here. I'm not sure whether the vacuum of leadership is destroying cooperation and compliance. I think it's the absolutely shambolic way this has been communicated from day one in terms of letting the public know what is coronavirus, what is COVID-19, what should they do to keep safe, what should they not do, what should they avoid. So that's my take on it anyway, but... The liaison committee has called for military capability to play a greater role. Government has harnessed the military to regain control in the foot and mouth crisis. The Prime Minister should follow that example today by installing a single leader, a 3- or 4-star military commander with a reputation for handling complexity under stress. Sir Bernard's attack on test and trace followed the PM saying at a Downing Street news conference on Thursday, I share the people's frustrations and I totally understand why we need to see faster turnarounds and we need to improve it. At the same news conference, Chief Scientific Advisor Sir Patrick Vallance said, it's very clear that there's room for improvement on all of that and therefore that would be diminishing the effectiveness of this. The new opinion poll carried out by Opinium suggests Labour now leads the Conservatives by 2 points, remaining on 40%, while the Tories have fallen to 38% during their coronavirus woes. And after Andy Burnham's bruising clash with the government, 50% of those living in Greater Manchester approve of the way he is handling his job as mayor, and his net approval rating of plus 25% is significantly higher than Mr Johnson's nationally at minus 14%. So, thank you very much for watching this first video of the day. I'm just sitting here all day writing my MD, reading papers, reading news. I'm going to check in with you throughout the day. The next video is going to be on it should be Sir Marcus Rashford. To be fair, I've given him an ennoblement before it was due. But on Marcus Rashford's campaign, which has really captured the heart of the nation. So join me on that video, and I'll probably be doing that at about 9:45, maybe 9:50. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, please share, please comment. Please, throughout this day, in the comments, say where you're from, what it's like where you are from a coronavirus point of view, what your questions are, and I will check in on them as much as I can today. And also I'll get members of the team to forward me anything that is requiring action. Because the more you do that, the 93 people watching throughout the rest of the day, the more Facebook's algorithms will serve this up to more and more people. We have reached 2.2 million people in the last 28 days. And that hasn't been video content so much because obviously I've been recovering. It's been the links and the articles that we've shared and the images. So you know what to do, 85 people watching. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. But most importantly, get to know the people in the comments below. Introduce yourself. Say, hi, I'm Gemma Louise and I am from wherever. And this is what it's like where I am. Because, thanks Jane, in sunny Hertfordshire as well, because that is how we are going to get through the coronavirus crisis. It is through unity and people helping each other out and a sense of community, really. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you really, really soon as this video uploads, and I have a cup of tea. Thank you.